Hey, good evening, and welcome back to Everyday Talk 24/7. It's Wednesday, September 27th, and thanks so much for being here. Just a quick reminder, we have Q&A Friday coming up this Friday. If you have any questions, if not, we'll put it off to the next week. But if you have any, please send them in. We're going to get back to our series on Psalm 23 and anxiety. And we looked earlier, we started this off by me looking at the verses 4. Verse 4, about walking in the valley of the shadow of death, or in the darkest valleys. I'm going to pick that up tonight because I've been doing this in sequence. So tonight, we'll talk about being free from the fear of anxiety. We took a more extensive look at this passage earlier, and you can check it out in the playlist. But this one, tonight, I just want to focus on one thing. Being free from the fear of anxiety. And the answer is right here in the text. But it's so straightforward that it's easy for us to miss. Let me read verse 4 of Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the darkest valleys, or the valley of the shadow of death, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. The key here is this middle phrase, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. That's the reality of Scripture. We walk by faith, not by things that we can see. We see the evidences of God, but we cannot see God. He is our great, faithful warrior shepherd, our compassionate shepherd, our gentle shepherd, but we can't see him. But we know he's real because the Bible tells us he's real. And then when we trust the Bible, we begin to interpret our life in light of the fact that God is in fact with me and close to me. That's why we always pray to him. Pray without ceasing. It's not that God is not some distant, far-off being that we have to get his attention by all these elaborate prayers and things. He is right there with us. His Spirit resides within us. His temple is here within us. He's committed to us. So the psalmist says, David says, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. If God is committed to you, given the life of his Son to protect you, and is walking with you, what do I have to be afraid of? The thumbnail tonight fits with what it says, your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. And the thumbnail shows the shepherd, a powerful man, a powerful shepherd, taking care of his sheep. In this case, he's holding the rod, but he's holding the staff, but there's also mention of the rod, which is more like a club, to beat off the attackers, the wolves and the lions and the bears that would come after his sheep. Well, that's what God is telling us what he's like. He's always right there. Now, I get it. Sometimes something very hard happens to us. So we get to ask the question, we talked about this last night, about when life hurts. But something hard happens to me, and I'm like, where's my shepherd? Why is he taking care of me? What we don't understand is that he's right there in the middle of that thing that happened, not letting it go any further than what he intended. When I am hurt, he's taking care of me. When I was diagnosed with cancer, he is taking care of me. When my wife Ruth was diagnosed with cancer, he was taking care of her. He was her shepherd all the way through death. Her comfort, her rock, her redeemer. And this particular passage in Psalm 23 was precious to her. She was not afraid because God was close beside her, and he was fighting to protect her all the time. That is reality. So when you and I face hard things, and it seems like that our shepherd has abandoned us, no, nothing could be more distant from the truth. He is right there. Because remember, if we look in verse 2, the purpose of all of this is that he wants us, in verse 3, he wants us to be about bringing honor to his name. That's our goal. Not freedom from plan A or this thing is coming to get us or attacking us or hurting us, but in the process that we bring honor to his name. That's what God is committed to. That's what Ruth was committed to. That's what she helped me see as I was dealing with cancer. God is right there with you and me. He is close beside us. As Psalm 73 says, the nearness of God is our good. So I don't determine the nearness of God or the goodness of God or the faithfulness of God based upon looking at the circumstances that are surrounding me. So therefore, I don't have to fear the things that are happening. I don't have to fear what my anxiety is screaming inside of me, telling me this is terrible or this is too much for me. I'm going to be overwhelmed. I don't have to have those fears because I know that my God is committed to me. He's faithful to me. He is walking right there with me. I realize this is a statement of faith, but don't we live by faith? We accept Christ by faith. Let's live with him in faith. I don't have to fear these things. I don't have to let anxiety rule me. Because even when life hurts, it's hard, even when it's good and great, Jesus hasn't gone anywhere. Listen carefully. Again, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That's the hope that we have. We are free from anxiety by faith. Not by observing our circumstances and hoping they get better, but knowing the faith, living the faith, that our God is right there close beside me. So I don't have to fear. And that's the thought for this night. Again, thank you so much for being here. Look forward to your thoughts, your feedback, your questions, your comments. Maybe you have some questions for Q&A Friday based on tonight. We'd love to hear them. Again, Lord bless you this night. Give you peace because he is close beside you. Thank you for watching. May God richly bless you as you seek to live for his glory.